A recent study in the Journal of Consumer Research set out to examine how people decide what to work on when faced with tasks of mixed urgency and importance. It was found that our attention is drawn to time-sensitive tasks over tasks that are less urgent, even when the less urgent task offers greater rewards, a behavioral trend known as the mere urgency effect. So how do we decide which task to give our attention to at any given moment? To answer that, I have to take you all the way back to 1953, when Dwight Eisenhower was elected President of the United States. During his 2 terms as president, Eisenhower led the construction of the interstate highway system, created NASA, signed into law the first major piece of civil rights legislation since the end of the Civil War, ended the Korean War, and welcomed Alaska and Hawaii into the Union. Eisenhower had to make tough decisions continuously about which of the many tasks he would focus on each given day. In a 1954 speech, he said, "I have 2 kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important, and the important are never urgent." Over 30 years later, Stephen Covey repackaged Eisenhower's insights in his book The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People into a simple tool to prioritize tasks, known as the Eisenhower Matrix, or Eisenhower Method. The Eisenhower Matrix is a matrix that splits one's tasks into 4 clearly demarcated quadrants. The first quadrant of tasks are tasks that are important and urgent. These are tasks that require you to take action quickly, and you need to do them. They typically have visible deadlines and consequences for stalling on taking action. Most often, these are either things that were sprung on you from an external source or things that you put off until faced with a looming deadline. Either way, they require a crisis mode response. Now, something that should fit into that first quadrant for you would be to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this every single week. The second quadrant comprises of tasks that are important but not urgent. We'll call this the schedule quadrant. These are tasks that will have you achieve your long-term goals, and you should keep finding time for them and putting them in your calendar. Examples of this can be your workout routine or building new skills in an area that you want to. This is the spot where you are focused not on problems like the first quadrant, but on opportunities and growth. Living in this quadrant of the matrix means that you are proactive and you prioritize activities that grow your skills and energy and contribute to accomplishing meaningful goals. Plus, by tending to these tasks consistently, you lessen the odds of them becoming urgent and moving into the first quadrant. The third quadrant is tasks that are not important, but urgent. This includes a lot of busy work like emails, messages, and some routine meetings. Remember the mere urgency effect that I mentioned earlier? This is where that lives. The drive to complete tasks because of real or assumed deadlines means that you take on tasks that aren't actually meaningful to you. Focus on quadrant 3 tasks may make you feel like you are not living your larger life goals and you don't have control over your day-to-day. The solution here would be to delegate these tasks to somebody else, if that's possible, or communicating with whomever you're working with that you aren't able to take on that task. And the fourth quadrant is full of tasks that are not important and not urgent. This last quadrant is called delete. Most of the stuff in this section provides no real value. These are things that take away time from your goals, and are habits like surfing the internet without reason or completely exhausting your Netflix queue. Not speaking for myself.
Liar!
They give you an excuse for not being able to deal with important tasks in the first and second quadrant. Don't hesitate to drop certain tasks into this fourth quadrant if they don't move you closer to your vision or dream for your life. It's okay to relax sometimes, but activities in this quadrant have diminishing returns when they're used excessively. So how do we distinguish what's important and what's urgent? Eisenhower recognized that great time management meant being effective as well as efficient. In other words, we should spend our time on things that are important and not just the ones that are urgent. To do this and to minimize the stress of having too many tight deadlines, we need to understand this distinction. Important activities have an outcome that leads us to achieving our long-term missions and goals, whether these are professional or personal. What is important is subjective and depends on what matters to you, but these items require planning and thoughtful action. Urgent activities demand immediate attention and are usually associated with achieving someone else's goals. They're often the ones we concentrate on, and they demand attention because of the consequences of not dealing with them. When we know which activities are important and which are urgent, we can overcome the natural tendency to focus on unimportant, urgent tasks so that we can clear up enough time to do what's essential for our own success. So I hope that using the Eisenhower method will help you filter the noise from your decisions and concentrate on what really matters to you. If nothing else, it can help you identify whether the things that are stressing you out are really that important at all. As always, drop a like on this video to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of the latest videos as soon as they're uploaded. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Vihan Chalaya. See you next week.